The Socratic method is a form of critical thinking and dialogue that uses questioning to stimulate deep thought, uncover assumptions, and refine ideas. It is named after Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher, who used it to challenge people's beliefs and encourage rational debate. Here's a step-by-step breakdown. Step 1. Identify the topic or problem. Start with a broad question or claim that requires deeper exploration. Example: what does it mean to live a good life? Step 2. Seek clarification. Ask questions to define terms and understand the issue fully. Examples: what do we mean by good? Can you give an example of a good life? Step 3. Examine assumptions. Challenge underlying assumptions in the argument. Examples: are we assuming happiness equals a good life? Could a difficult life still be considered good? Step 4. Explore perspectives and counter-arguments. Introduce opposing views or alternative interpretations. Examples: would everyone agree with this definition? How might someone from a different culture define a good life? Step 5. Provide evidence and justifications. Encourage reasoning with facts, examples, or logical arguments. Examples: what real-world examples support this idea? Has history shown that this belief is true? Step 6. Examine consequences and implications. Consider the broader effects of the argument. Examples: if everyone followed this idea, what would happen? What are the potential risks or unintended consequences? Step 7. Reflect and refine the answer. Synthesize the discussion and refine the original claim if necessary. Examples: given our discussion, how would you now define a good life? Has your perspective changed? Why or why not? Step 8. Repeat the process if needed. If new questions arise, revisit earlier steps to deepen understanding. Ask yourself Socratic questions. A Socratic question is an open-ended, thought-provoking question designed to encourage critical thinking, self-reflection, and deeper understanding. These questions challenge assumptions, explore ideas, and lead to logical conclusions rather than providing direct answers. Examples of Socratic questions. Clarification questions. What do you mean by that? Can you give me an example? How does this relate to what we were discussing earlier? Can you express that in another way? What is the main issue here? Probing assumptions. What are you assuming? Is that assumption always true? How did you choose those assumptions? What could happen if we changed that assumption? What evidence do you have to support this assumption? Probing reasons and evidence. What evidence supports this argument? Can you think of a counterexample? Why do you think this is the case? How do you know this is true? Are there alternative perspectives? Exploring different perspectives. What would someone who disagrees say? Why might someone see this differently, and how does your perspective compare to others? Is there another way to approach this issue? What cultural or historical factors influence this viewpoint? Examining consequences. What are the potential consequences of this idea? How would this affect other people? What happens if we follow this line of reasoning? Could this lead to unintended results? What might be the long-term impact? Challenging the question itself. Why is this question important? What underlying assumptions shape this question? How else could we phrase this question? What are we missing in this discussion? Are we asking the right questions? Now that you understand the Socratic method can sharpen your thinking, it's time to put it into practice with the help of Eleism. If you're enjoying this journey of deep questioning and self-discovery, don't stop here. Click on the next video to see real examples of how speaking in the third person can help you break down assumptions, question biases, and think more clearly. Like this video if it made you think. Follow to keep exploring the hidden layers of your mind. Join the journey as we break through illusions, challenge beliefs, and see reality with fresh eyes. The mind creates the illusion. Let's go beyond it together.